Good morning. It is Saturday, February 21st, and it's day 52 of my diet. And the first goal I set for myself was 72 days. So I'm only 20 days away from my first goal. Now, last week I maintained I didn't lose anything, but I wasn't discouraged. I contributed to that I had eaten in restaurants 4 times, and I decided that this week I was not going to eat in a restaurant. Well, I actually didn't eat in a restaurant, but one day I did do takeout. I stopped at a Greek restaurant and I got the shawarma chicken salad, and normally I would divide it like into 3 or maybe like eat half one day, half the other day, but I forgot to tell them to put the dressing on the side. So I ate half for lunch and then I ate half for supper, because who wants wilty lettuce the next day? Not me. And it was good, but it's hard to say, even though it's that cucumber dressing, I don't know how many calories are in there, and they put a lot of chicken. But I'm happy to report that this week I lost 1 pound, and I am thrilled with that. So that's a total of 18 pounds. My goal for 72 days was 20 pounds, and I think I'm going to make it. And then after that, I'm going to set another goal. Now, I'm retired. I retired 7 years ago, but I still work part-time. But as long as I was working, I wore business clothes, so I had like a land in the sand that I would not go across, because who wanted to buy new suits and stuff? Well, once I retired, elastic pants, skinny jeans, which I don't wear skinny jeans, but the same material, they just stretch. Well, from February 2008 to now, I had gained 40 pounds since I retired. That's ridiculous. So I've already lost 18, so once I get down to that, I'm going to keep going. I really am. But I have been really creative this week. Now, living alone, I don't really like to cook. It's much easier just picking up something, meeting friends, but I have been being very creative. In fact, this week I made the best thing. I like eggplant. I don't know if y'all like eggplant or not, but I cut the eggplant in big old slices, and I put olive oil in the bottom of a baking pan. I put the slices on top of the olive oil, and I baked it for like 25 minutes, and then I used whole wheat pasta. And I bought the spaghetti sauce in a jar. I used Paul Newman's own, because that was like the less carbohydrates, less sugar. And then I used the fat-free mozzarella. Oh my goodness. It was eggplant parmesan. The whole dish was 375 calories. It was so delicious. And then Tuesday I made a big old pot of seafood gumbo. And well, I used a pound of crab meat, which disappeared, but I used a couple of pounds of shrimp, and then I used 2 pounds of okra, because I like okra gumbo. I don't like filet. I know everybody from New Orleans do filet gumbo, but filet has so many rules. You can't put it in while it's boiling. You have to put it in at the end. You can't freeze with filet, so I'll leave the gumbo filet out. I just use the okra gumbo. But other than that, there's really not anything else really going on. I'm excited that my trip is coming out. But I was talking about being retired. I work 18 hours a week at a food bank. I'm an office manager at a food bank. And people come in there and they're really obese. And I recently found this on Facebook. Let's see if I can pull it up. Let me see what it says. It was a post, and it was telling you about how to give groceries to a food bank. And it says, research shows that people who are food insecure are also at the higher risk for obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Sadly, unhealthy foods are often the cheapest. Isn't that the truth? And it's not an option for struggling families. So they're just telling you, like, when you donate to a food bank, think about healthy. And it is true. I have been spending a lot of money on healthy food, but it's worth it. In the long run, it's worth it. And they always, I don't know if I read it or heard it, that if you do something for 21 times, it becomes a habit. Well, I've been on this diet for 52 days, and it is still not a habit. I guess I'm a food addict. I have to think about everything I put in my mouth. If not, I would go crazy. I'm not writing down as much, because I kind of know the portions now and everything, because I'm still doing the 1,000 calories to 1,200. Mostly I stayed on 1,000 this week, because I really wanted to do at least a pound. So that's good. Hey, you know what? Since I don't like to cook, maybe after I get down to a nice weight, maybe I'm going to start looking for a boyfriend who likes to cook. But I'm going to say goodbye. Today's pretty a sad day. My older sister, my only sister, passed away last Saturday, and her services are today. That's why I'm dressed up this morning. It's good. It's sad. She was the good one. She was the nice one. She followed the rules. She was the healthy one. I think her weight was like 135 her whole life, and I think she was like 5'4". But 4 years ago, she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and she didn't have any of the qualifications to get it. But the first surgery she did well, but then it came back a year later, and she's had a rough 4 years. So I know she's not in pain anymore, but I'm going to miss her. So y'all pray for her family, her husband, her kids, her grandkids, and I'm going to say goodbye. Love y'all. I so appreciate all the comments y'all sending me. It is encouraging me so much. So God bless, and I'll see you next week.